Live from the Business RadioX studio inside Renaissance Bank, the bank that specializes in understanding you. It's time for North Fulton Business Radio.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of North Fulton Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and folks, we are broadcasting from inside Renaissance Bank in beautiful Alpharetta. And if you are looking for a bank that's big enough to handle pretty much any need you can throw at them, but they're small enough to do it in a personal way, I've found that at Renaissance Bank, and I think a lot of banking clients must have, because Renaissance keeps finishing at the top of the heap when it comes to customer surveys that are conducted by Time Magazine's Money.com or Forbes Magazine. So go to RenaissanceBank.com if you're looking for a better banking experience for your business, and find one of their local offices. They've got some 200 across the South open and ready to serve you. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, member FDIC. And now I want to welcome Jim Miller. Jim is the CEO of DutchCrafters Amish Furniture. Jim, welcome.
Thanks so much. It's great to be here.
Great to have you here. Let's hear a little bit more about DutchCrafters and how you're serving folks out there.
Yeah, as the name implies, DutchCrafters we are internet retailers and also have showrooms. We sell Amish-made furniture representing about 150 different wood shops, very small wood shops in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana. Mm-hmm. It's the real deal. It's made in America, largely customizable. We try to match the quality of the product with exceptional customer experience as well.
Wow. That sounds terrific and something worth diving into. We'll get more into the details of this, but there's a specific reason why you're in Alpharetta today.
Yeah, that's right. We have a showroom here in Alpharetta. It is our second showroom. We had a grand opening in October, mm-hmm. And this week we're hosting this evening we're hosting the Chamber of Commerce event for the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. So we're delighted to have the business community come and visit our showroom.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this show after the fact, you can always stop by, right? And we'll get more into location and whatnot later, right?
You don't just have to come this evening. You can come every day if you like to.
Absolutely. Let's talk. I mean, you started out e-commerce for DutchCrafters. Why e-commerce? I mean, because furniture, you think, hey, we need to be in person to
Absolutely.
See that, right?
Yeah. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary in business this month, actually. So 20 years. Back, if I can take you back 20 years ago, e-commerce, you and I are old enough, I think, to remember.
I know I am, Jim.
Yeah. We're old enough to remember a day before you could buy things on the website.
Right.
So 20 years ago, e-commerce was brand new. We were just sort of getting this thing out of the box. A friend of mine from graduate school and I decided we wanted to own our own business, wanted to be entrepreneurs. And we saw the World Wide Web as an opportunity to get in and try something new. There was a window of opportunity there. We had some ideas on how we were going to sell on an e-commerce platform, and we thought those were good ideas. We knew we wanted to sell products on a niche kind of a model. Mm-hmm. We didn't know what we wanted to sell, and so we didn't have any money. He knew how to build websites. My job was try to figure out what products we were going to list on those websites. We were opportunistic in those days, and we tried a number of things. In that first year, we got into some Amish-made crafts. I'll skip the details, but that was kind of the story there. Mm-hmm. And some outdoor furniture. And my wife and I, she was involved in the business in the very early days and still is today, we were up in Pennsylvania looking for some vendors and products to sell, and we had these crafts that we had been selling. She kept seeing this beautiful furniture that was made by Amish craftsmen, and she said, I really think there's something here that we could be successful with. Why don't we try to sell this Amish furniture on our website? And in all my wisdom and seasoned experience, I said, that will never work.
This sounds like a conversation with me and my wife, right? She's the one that knows something.
Yeah, and you know where that's going.
Yeah, I know where it's going.
So I said, that's never going to work. People aren't going to buy it online.
Right.
You got to remember too. I mean, again, at the time, e-commerce was new. People didn't trust it. There were confidence issues. Sort of had a shady side to it from some perspectives. Mm-hmm. But my questions were, how nobody's going to buy furniture that they haven't seen in person, mm-hmm. And particularly spend the money that was associated with our price points. How are you going to finish it? How are you going to ship it? Et cetera, et cetera. So I saw a lot of problems with it. Mm-hmm. Well, she's pretty persistent, and
fortunately for you,
very fortunately.
Yeah.
So we gave it a try. Opened DutchCrafters. And the next year we did, which was our first full year of business, we did about $500,000 in revenues, and almost all of it was in the furniture.
Oh, wow. And this is what year?
That was 2003 and 2004.
Okay.
Wow. So yeah, it was a great time to be wrong. I've heard about it a few times since then. Uh-huh. So I think that was really how we got our start. But I will say, the challenges in selling a very, when you think of a typical web-based product that fits an e-commerce model, Amish-made furniture is not the thing that comes to mind. There is that high-touch component to it. People, they live with their furniture, right? You eat on the tables, you sit in the chairs, you sleep in the beds. You work at the desk, you entertain your friends around the living room or outdoors. So there's an emotive kind of almost, there's that nuanced sort of personal connection there that you have. So selling furniture on a web base has been, we've been good at it, but it hasn't been easy. A lot of folks look at it and sort of say, well, that looks like it would be pretty easy. You don't have to work too hard on that model. Not quite the truth. So, yeah. Been a lot of work there.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see how that would be. Let's just talk about what comes out in people's minds when they think Amish furniture. I mean, because that in and of itself is a brand, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Talk more about that.
Yeah, there's a lot that's associated with Amish made furniture, and some of it is really plays. Some of it's stuff that we really want to hang on to, and some of it isn't. Mm-hmm. The stuff that is, the good parts of that for us is that it's associated with a high degree of integrity, real, honesty, authenticity. It's the craftsmanship that goes into it. It's extraordinary. It's made in America. Mm-hmm. There are the Amish furniture industry is basically located in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana. That's where we source our product. Mm-hmm. So a lot of trustworthy, credibility that's built into the product. The stuff that we sometimes can't get over quite as easy is that often people associate it with grandma's furniture. The colonial styles and the shaker styles and very traditional styles, often in oak wood in a natural finish, and it's not quite what everybody has in mind, what everybody's looking for. We have those products and a whole lot of people that want it, and we sell that. Mm-hmm. But if you walk into our showroom, most people will say, wow, I thought this was Amish made. It's not quite what I was expecting. We have a variety of styles, wood types, finish options. So, so again, there's some nuances that are helpful, and also some limitations with that association with the Amish furniture.
Yeah, but I would think the upside of that of it overweighs any of the downside, I would think.
100%.
Yeah.
The upside, we one of the great things that I have appreciated about this product is that I spent the last 20 years mostly sleeping pretty well at night, knowing that we're not, over-promising and under-delivering. The product carries a high degree of integrity with it, and the craftsmanship really is something that people are thrilled when it arrives. 99.5% of people are thrilled with it when it arrives. There always get a few that, where there's a couple of problems here or there.
Yeah, you always have that.
Not much for us.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is interesting too about your company, you talk about sourcing from 150, I think, different vendors. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so what you're talking about is really supporting, it's not just made in the USA, it's made in the USA with entrepreneurs.
That's right. Yeah, these are small businesses. Many of them are, the small wood shops that are often, maybe a dozen employees on average. Mm-hmm. I mean, we do have a few that are where you got 50 or 70 employees. Those would be outliers. And then you have a few that where it's a single person or, father and son kind of a deal. But most of them are small wood shops that are somewhere between, I'd say, 8 and 18. Mm-hmm. And so we support those businesses, those independent businesses, help to sell their products and open up new markets. A lot of them, they don't, prior to working with us, they never had any sales out to Houston or San Francisco or Seattle, and so we've helped to bridge that gap for them. So I take a lot of pride in that too, and it feels good to both help those entrepreneurs, partly too because I share a heritage with a lot of them. I grew up in a Mennonite church, and as a kid worked alongside Amish people in my uncle's Amish restaurants and that kind of thing. So, it feels good to be able to help support that group.
Yeah. And when you say, a common word that we use in business is quality, but one of the things I notice is you use the word integrity, and that really takes it a step further. Right. Yeah. And that's really what you're talking about when you're talking about, folks that have the kind of deep convictions that the Amish have, right?
I think, not to pick on anybody, but I think quality is probably an overused word in some ways. We tried to take that a step further in really talking about both integrity and authenticity. So it's just not the kind of product that you get a lot when you're shopping in big box stores and such. There's a story there. It comes from it starts in the trees and the hills in Pennsylvania. And wow, I mean, sometimes I sort of, driving through one of those states and those back roads, and I think this is just a great American story here too about entrepreneurs who might not be people's typical thing that they comes to mind when you're thinking about entrepreneurs, but they are in every sense of the word. And I think it's cool to be a part of it. Yeah,
that's awesome. Jim Miller, folks, he's the CEO of DutchCrafters. So, Jim, we've been up here at 40,000 feet talking about furniture. Let's get into some of the details of your products. And, I'm sitting here looking at the website, and I'm looking forward to being there this afternoon to see at the showroom itself some of what the products you have to offer. But let's give our listeners a little taste of what they can find when they go to your website.
Yeah, well, I would start with the fact that we have about 15,000 different product IDs on our website, and all of them, or the vast majority of them, can be customized or personalized. So when customers come into our showroom or they shop on the website or call our call center, we start with what does that customer want? So it starts with obviously product types, but you're choosing a wood type, you're choosing finishes, and then a whole lot of options. Customer makes a purchase, and we send that purchase order over to the wood shop, and they start pulling the wood off the bins. So it starts really at that beginning level. It's made made to order in that sense. So that is part of the process in terms of building and ordering the furniture. We sell furniture for every room in the house, so it's dining and bedroom, office furniture, living room is a big category for us, and outdoor furniture as well. We do a lot of outdoor furniture. So lots of options. I think that's one of the big takeaways.
So it's and those options include finish.
They include finish, again, wood type, so oak, cherry, walnut, maple, hickory, etc. And so it starts with the selection of a wood, and then the finish options. We've got tons of finishes to choose from, and we do a lot of two-tone finishes too, and that kind of thing. So really, you can almost build your own table in the sense of or whatever you're shopping for, in the sense of starting with those options and going from there.
Wow, that's terrific. So what are some of the more popular items that you have? We
sell so because we're e-commerce, we're really based on customer search. So we have customers that are searching for and shopping for a huge variety of products. We don't have just a few products that are where we sell so many more than others. We got a great distribution there. So our top selling product would still be less than 0.5% of our total sales. The 80-20 rule doesn't quite apply with us as it might in some other businesses. I will say this: we also have an Amazon store, DutchCrafters store on Amazon, and we sell a phenomenal amount of birdhouses and bird feeders.
Oh, really?
It's a little bit of a surprise because it's not the furniture, but we have a warehouse in Indiana, and we stock it full of birdhouses and bird feeders and hope chests and a whole lot of crafts like that. So that's fun too. We do quite a volume of birdhouse and bird feeders.
Well, I guess that's a good way for people to get introduced to you, right?
Yeah, sure. We try to treat every customer as whether they're buying a birdhouse or a whole dining set or furniture for their whole house. They're important in terms of the service and experience that we try to provide.
Yeah, and when people buy, they know that they're buying something that's going to last.
We sell furniture that lasts for literally for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the kind of thing that ends up in a landfill in 3 years and you have to go out and buy another set. So we often have people who are passing it down to future generations. It's really made to last for a very, very long time.
That's terrific. Jim Miller, folks, CEO of DutchCrafters. So Jim, somewhere along the way you decided e-commerce just, you had proved what you needed to prove there, but you thought showrooms made sense for you.
Yeah. We started, as I mentioned earlier, in 2003 on an e-commerce model.
Mm-hmm.
We started really doing the hard thing first. We sold nationwide from the very beginning, shipping all over the place, throughout the country, so really developing the marketing model. What we found over the years is that, I'll just say, we opened our first showroom in 2015 when we bought a building in Sarasota, Florida, where our headquarters are. Bought a building that was a 2-story building, put our operations on the top floor, and on the bottom floor we opened up a showroom. And one of the reasons, or a few reasons, that we were trying to experiment with showrooms at that point in time was that we wanted more tangibility.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to get our hands on products so we could take photos of them, so we could get videos of them.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, we hadn't really seen most of the products firsthand unless we went up to see them in the wood shop, all dusty and unfinished. So that allowed us to really get more in touch. Our employees could learn more about it. And of course, we wanted to sell. And what we found is that the customers within about 100-mile radius was our target market in terms of where we were really advertising, focusing the digital ads around the showroom. But what we found is that people were finding our products from a lot further than that. They'd find it on the website, and they'd say, "Hey, look, they've got a showroom. There's a DutchCrafters showroom there in Sarasota. Let's drive over there. We'll stay for the weekend. We'll go to the beach, do a little shopping, and we'll stop in and see this furniture that we want to purchase." Mm-hmm. So we really became a destination in that sense, and we saw customers driving from more than an hour away from Orlando, Tampa, Miami. Wow. Way up in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. We thought that made a lot of sense in terms of the local reach. The customers that would come into the showroom had typically spent quite a bit more money than those that bought online. They were serious shoppers, not a lot of tire kickers that come through our showrooms. So that we have to remember that, as I said earlier, there's a lot that goes with the furniture in terms of tangibility and just sort of the emotional component too. People live with this stuff. So my point is, I think that there's a whole lot. While there are people who want to buy on the website, there's a whole lot of people that really are, would like to see it in person before they pull the trigger, and the showrooms have helped to provide that opportunity for folks. So we're seeing the same thing in Alpharetta already. We've only been open five months, but already we're seeing people driving from even south of Atlanta. They're coming in from Tennessee. We've got some shoppers from Alabama. Yesterday I was in the showroom and talking to some people that drove more than an hour away, and we're seeing that on a regular basis. So we think we're onto something there that's going to be replicable in this area as well.
Did you? I know that our Chamber of Commerce leaders, our city leaders, will be delighted to hear this. But I mean, did you see Alpharetta as being a destination location? Was that one of the reasons why you chose Alpharetta to locate?
Absolutely. We used a real data-driven approach to start with to try to figure out where we wanted to locate. Again, I'll back up and say, we started selling on an e-commerce model, doing the hard thing first. So we've actually been selling in Alpharetta for 20 years.
Of course.
On the web base, but the showroom location, we wanted to see, what a demographic that fit, that fit our customer profile. We certainly saw that here, but intuitively also, we didn't want to get lost in a big city. We wanted to be close enough to a big city that we could attract people from that population as well. But we wanted to be in a place that had some character, that had some vibrance, and Alpharetta certainly fit that mold for us. Yeah,
that's great. So you've been open now, you said 5 months.
Yep. October, we had our grand opening. So I'd say that's right about 5 months from, we're into the fifth, getting on the 6 months now.
Okay. And you feel like you're tracking about where you thought you would be?
Yes, we do. We feel like we've got the marketing, that model, that piece is coming along real nicely for us. We keep tuning that up a little bit. Mm-hmm. The responses that we're getting from customers in terms that are coming in have been very, very positive. I think they're saying they're impressed with the showroom. It looks beautiful. They like the furniture.
That's great.
The experience has been good, and the financial piece, of course, is what we look at as well. And the revenues are tracking certainly in the right direction. I'm happy with it. I think
that's great.
I think we want to stay engaged in the community. So, our participation in the chamber is important. Awesome Alpharetta Business Association, and we'll make sponsorships and such too to help support the local community where we can. But but we're in it to be engaged, I think is my point, and we certainly think Alpharetta is a great place to do that.
That's terrific. Jim Miller, folks, the CEO of DutchCrafters. Jim, this has been terrific, and I can't imagine that there aren't some folks that want to drive over from wherever they are to hear this, to check out your location. So let's give them directions on how to find your location first.
Yep. Yeah, we're at 160 Main Street in Alpharetta. For folks that ask, well, where is that? Monkey 68 is right out in front, so we own the building there. That Monkey 68 is in the DutchCrafters showroom is in the back part of that building. So you go to Monkey 68 and then look for the yellow doors. That's the DutchCrafters showroom. You can, of course, find directions on our website at DutchCrafters.com.
And this is 160 North Main, so just north of downtown Alpharetta.
That's correct. Yes, North Main.
Yeah.
We're open 7 days a week. Monday through Saturday is at 9 to 6, and then Sunday we're open from noon to 5. And
you want to give a phone number or something like that?
Yeah,
as well?
I sure do. We have a local number here in Alpharetta, which is 678-436-5308.
Terrific. And if you happen to be listening to this show, we have a lot of listeners that aren't just in North Fulton. If you happen to be listening to the show somewhere other than North Fulton and can't necessarily readily drive to Alpharetta, there's always the website.
There's always the website.
So let's tell them how they can find that.
Yeah, DutchCrafters.com. And if you go to the website, there's easy access to chat and phone numbers and email, so you can stay in touch with us in whatever way you prefer.
That's terrific. Jim Miller, the CEO of DutchCrafters. Jim, this is terrific. And we're just so delighted we could shine the light on the great work you're doing. Congratulations on your success. Welcome to Alpharetta.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be here. We're really proud of the showroom and really proud to be a part of the community.
Well, we're glad you're here. So thank you again for being here.
Thanks.
Hey, folks, just a quick reminder. If you've got some issues in your small business that involve administrative tasks or bookkeeping or issues that are weighing you down that you need some help with, so you can spend time on the front part of your business, which is dealing with customers and prospects and employees, I've got a suggestion for you, and that involves picking up the phone and calling the Chief Executive Angel at Office Angels, S.E. Escobedo. 770-442-9246 is the phone number. You can also go to officeangels.us to learn more. And what they have is a whole team of angels that have the talent and experience necessary to handle work that's essential to creating and maintaining a successful small business. So if you've got some issues that are weighing you down that you need some help with to help you fly higher, well, Office Angels can help. And I know that because I use their services myself. So check them out, and I think you'll be glad you did. And folks, just a quick reminder, North Fulton Business Radio, we're coming up on our 7th year anniversary, and we're excited about that, and we are grateful. We've only made it this far because of you, our listener, because you continue to share the show when you've heard a great business leader that you think others need to know about. And I can't imagine that there's not a reason to share this show. So given what Jim Miller has had to offer about DutchCrafters. So please continue to do that, and we are grateful that you help us fulfill our mission to be the voice of business in North Fulton. So for my guest, Jim Miller, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on North Fulton Business Radio.